I remember when I was 10 or 11 years old, I saw writing in school on chairs, on tables. The letter 2 and then PAC. I didn't know what it was, I didn't even ask anybody, and that was months with me, just passing me by on the walls, on graffiti, on chairs, on tables, writings, 2 PAC. So months later, I see my neighbor with a CD written 2 PAC, greatest hits. It was maybe 98, 99. So I asked him, what is this? Tupac, what is this? He said, you don't know Tupac? Okay, take this CD, listen to it and tell me what you hear. So I went home, put it in my Discman or CD player or whatever we had back then, started listening to it. I didn't even need the whole song, I was hooked. I was a young kid, maybe 11 years old. Before that, I only knew DJ Bubble, Backstreet Boys, Venga Boys, Spice Girls. That's it. And after that, it was Tupac era, and nobody replaced him since then. I thought maybe this is gonna be my first favorite artist, but he just stayed my favorite artist till today. And I listen to all types of music, everything that stuck in my head and just brings an emotion out of me, positive emotion, I'll listen to it. And it's popular music, rock music, it's Mexican, Arab, Italian, French, of course, Balkan music. I listen to it all, and I listened to it all. But Tupac was the only artist that was with me since the first time I listened to it till today. And I didn't really grow up with a father, or my brothers were older, so they had their own life. I never really had a person that I will rely on in every single situation that I go through in my life. But there was Tupac. As cliche as it sounds, when I was mad, when I was sad, when I was happy, when I was bored, when I was in love, he was the soundtrack through it all. And he was giving me this inspiration that just drew me through life. And today, when I wake up and I get ready to go to work, I listen to Tupac. When I'm in a car, I put a CD in, it's Tupac. When I need just some music, when I'm at home, I listen to Tupac. Before I go to bed, I listen to Tupac. And I like I said, I listen to all types of music, but I haven't heard more of anybody else's music than Tupac's, and every time I hear it, is something new. It's like I don't know. It's like reading Lord of the Rings. Every time you find something that you didn't see before, and I still don't get it how in 25 years of life he managed. Oh, and probably he recorded, I don't know, in 6 years, the last 6 years of his license, since he was 19, let's say. He made so much music. I can't get it from my head how he made music, movies, TV appearances, and all this persona that we saw on TV. It inspired my generation, kids that I grew up, and me. Nobody inspired them more than Tupac. Nobody inspired us more than Tupac, and he was incredible. He was Muhammad Ali behind the mic. All props to Eminem, who's the greatest rapper of all time, probably. I mean, just by the numbers and by the talent, I have no problem with calling Eminem the greatest rapper of all time. Biggie Smalls, I mean, this is the biggest influence on today's rap. If you mix Michael Jackson and Biggie Smalls on a primitive level, you get today rap. But none of them were Tupac. He was an incredible person, or artist, or whatever we saw in those records and TV shows and TV appearances and videos and movies. Whatever we saw there, it was, for our generation, it was an incredible influence, and I'll never be able to explain it. But he was the soundtrack of my life. He is the soundtrack of my life. I don't know why I keep saying was. I mean, today is 20 years since he's gone. I've never met him, obviously. I have nothing in common with him, but he knows everything about me. He knows everything that I've been through in the last 18 years. He was the figure that was above or by my side, or I don't know how to explain it, but he was just the person that kind of gave me this message or inspiration through songs that just ride me through life and get me through things, and I'll never be able to thank him enough. And that's what music is all about. And I was listening to Lil Wayne's interview today. He was saying he's not going to retire, which I think is great, and he was saying the difference between music back then and now. I mean, back then they barely had remixes of the songs. Then we went through remixes era, and today they don't even call them remixes anymore. You have a song that is popular, and it's got acoustic version, it's got clean version, it's got radio version, it's got dirty version, it's got dance version, it's got all these versions. They don't even call them remix. They just call them versions. So it's all standardized. So somebody likes a song, and then another person who has totally different music tastes likes the same song but just in different versions. So it's all based on this commercial success, and of course I totally get it. Money rules the world, and I like today's music. Don't get me wrong, but back then it was about message, and that's what I can relate to, and I think people from my generation will understand that's what we related to. And nobody's message was as deep and as inspiring as Tupac's, and I'll never say goodbye to him. I mean, I hope I'll never have to say goodbye to him, because he's been through it all with me, as cliche as it may sound. But I mean, I just wish I'd be able to go up to him one day, shake his hand, and say thank you, but without you I would probably be on a different place right now, or I don't know, or I'll be a way different person that I am. And yeah, that was Tupac, and that was my thoughts about Tupac.